There was a time when the gods themselves were terrified, because one of them refused to stop killing, and she wasn't hunting demons or monsters. She was hunting humans. By the time the other gods realized what they had created, it was almost too late. In ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra ruled over gods and humans alike. But as humanity grew, they began to mock him, even plotting rebellion against the very god who created them. Ra could have responded with fire or floods, but he chose something far more terrifying. He chose judgment. He summoned forth a being of pure, divine wrath, an entity created from his own fiery eye. Her name was Sekhmet, the powerful one, the goddess of war and destruction. Her mission was simple: punish the ungrateful humans. But Sekhmet's fury was a fire that, once lit, could not be controlled. What happened next almost ended the world. Villages were turned to dust, the sands of Egypt were stained with blood, and the Nile itself was said to run red. Sekhmet wasn't just fulfilling a command. She reveled in the destruction. She developed a taste for blood, and her rampage became a massacre. The screams of humanity reached the heavens, and the gods watched in horror. This wasn't the lesson Ra had intended. He saw Sekhmet lost in her bloodlust, her eyes burning brighter and hotter than the sun. The other gods pleaded with Ra, begging him to call her off before she wiped out every last human. But here's the most terrifying part of the story. Sekhmet was so consumed by her rage that she no longer listened to anyone, not even her own father, the mighty Ra. So, how do you stop an unstoppable goddess drunk on power and destruction? The gods had to get creative. They brewed a massive batch of beer, thousands and thousands of jars, and dyed it red to look just like blood. They poured this mixture all over the fields where Sekhmet was expected to continue her rampage the next day. As the sun rose, Sekhmet returned to finish her work, but she saw the vast, red lake and, thinking it was a sea of blood, she began to drink. She drank and drank until the sheer volume of beer made her fall into a deep, drunken sleep. When she finally woke up, her bloodlust was gone, her rage was quelled, and her destructive spree was over. From that day on, she transformed into a more benevolent deity, Hathor, the goddess of love and joy. In others, Sekhmet still exists, held back by ritual and fear. The gods had learned something terrible. They could create destruction, but controlling it was another matter entirely. Sekhmet isn't just a monster. She's a warning about power without restraint, about weapons that can't be recalled, about rage that outgrows its purpose. If ancient myths feel disturbingly modern, you're not alone. Do you like the story? Comment yes. Subscribe for weekly mythology stories that feel too real to be ancient.